Super excited. Really set out to make it a very familiar experience for folks that love Windows 7, but while retaining a lot of the cool innovations that we made with 8, 8.1. So if you look right away, our start menu is very familiar. We can see on the left side there at the top all of our system pins. Our most frequently used apps are here. You also notice we have Windows desktop software right next to store apps, start menu. So there's no more segregation of the two worlds. They live together, they coexist, they're happy. There's jump lists. So here on AutoCAD you can see all the most recent documents I was using. I could jump right over and use one of those if I wanted to do that. And of course the live tiles are here. You can see my weather and my calendar. I can move these around. All the ways you can customize before you can still do. You can put as much or as little as you want there. If you filled this whole thing up with tiles, even past this enormous monitor, you would get a scroll bar at the bottom. So you can really load it up if you want to. As for our apps, here is our modern mail app. It's actually a store app. You've been seeing these running full screen at all times. It's full screen right now, but you'll see now in 10, I can pull this down, and apps run in Windows. You can treat them the way that you always have, the way that you've always wanted to treat them, the way you're used to treating all of our apps in Windows. We can move around, we can minimize. I also love that when I scale this, the app changes its UI to adapt to my workflow. It's not the other way around. So I can make this very narrow if I want. Notice if I open OneNote, we now have a Win32 and a store app running next to each other. If I snap this, notice how it automatically fills the gap. Why would I want a gap there? Intuitively, it fills it for me. So we jump down here, our next little feature is the task view button. Think of that, you have your task bar, your task manager, the task view button. This shows me everything running right now. It also preserves the orientation of the window shapes. So if I made those windows that shape, I'm going to remember that. It's very easy to glance to see those and remember what I did. I can close any apps I don't want from this view, and then also from this view, this gets me into one of my favorite features of 10, virtual desktops. So entirely new workspaces for me to do the things that are going to make me great, make me successful. Down here you can see I've had an entire other desktop running with AutoCAD the whole time I was doing a demo. So I literally could have this to be a space where I was working on some of my CAD documents, getting some inspiration from my Photos apps, publishing out my content, and going to another desktop to actually make a pitch deck. So desktops are a way to basically streamline your workflow. Maybe you have one for your Facebook and your music. Maybe you have 5 different projects you're working on. You know, they're just a really neat way to multitask. I'll show you another one that we have open over here. This one is just running actually Bing Maps Preview. I don't know if you've seen this app, but the detail for the cities is amazing. This PC's persona is kind of an architect. We have a graphic designer PC down there. They're all the same demo, all the same story, so kind of put some building and stuff like this. But the idea is...
Can you show that desktop picture again?
Absolutely. All the stuff you're doing, here it is.
Let's check that.
Notice too, when you hover over these, it shows you the running apps, which is really cool. And you actually have the thumbnail of what's going on down there, so it makes it super easy to keep track of what you're doing. I can also close them. If I'm tired of this, I can close this whole desktop right here. What's kind of cool is it then consolidates those programs into your other running desktop. So they're still running, you just have to kind of choose where to go close them. And to the point of closing, Alt-Tab still works, but it shows everything running across all my desktops. So if I go and select an app, it jumps to the desktop and that app is open at. So Task View shows you what's running for each desktop. Alt-Tab shows you the global view of everything across all the desktops.
Is that an Alt-Tab button?
No. Task View is still for that desktop. Yep. And you can still see everything by just mousing over your various desktops. Alt-Tab gives you a quick way to do that. And keep in mind that Task View, it will come up with touch by swiping from the left. This is not a touch monitor. Charms are still here in the middle by swiping from the right. You can bring them up that way as well. So again, this is a super early build. There's still a lot coming. This is just for kind of desktop, mouse and keyboard scenarios. Phone is still coming, tablet's still coming. We're not talking about that today, but we think it's a good starting point. We're looking forward to all the feedback.
Next slide. Thank you.
Is the new iPhone 6.
And this is the new iPhone 6 Plus.
They're the bendiest iPhones ever made.